Okay, so moving on to other stories that happened over the weekend. Multiple people injured in New York City's Times Square after a gunman opens fire and a 17-year-old suspect is arrested. The incident occurred in the early hours of the morning of Saturday, August 9th, according to reports. Two teenagers and a 65-year-old man were among those injured following a shooting in New York City's Times Square. A verbal dispute between two people allegedly took place moments before the incident on Saturday, August 9th, the Times reported. According to reports, a 17-year-old suspect was arrested near 44th Street and 7th Avenue. At least three people have been injured following a shooting in New York City's Times Square. The incident occurred around 1:20 a.m. local time on Saturday, August 9th, after a verbal dispute between two people escalated, the Associated Press reported, citing the New York Police Department. A 19-year-old man was shot in the right foot, along with a 65-year-old man who was shot in the left leg, and an 18-year-old woman who suffered a grazed gunshot wound to the neck, according to the Times. Following the shooting between West 44th Street and 7th Avenue, the victims were taken to Bellevue Hospital and are in stable condition, per the outlet. Footage shared on social media shows people fleeing outside the Hard Rock Cafe, one of the most popular tourist spots in the Times Square. After gunshots were heard in the area, a car can be seen pulling over to the side of the road outside the Hard Rock Cafe, per UK outlets The Sun and The Independent. Witnesses also allege they saw bullet holes in the window of the car. A 17-year-old suspect was arrested near 44th Street and 7th Avenue and taken into custody. According to The Independent, a firearm was also recovered from the scene. And that's going to be an illegal firearm. One, a 17-year-old can't buy a gun. Two, New York has extremely strict gun laws. You can't buy a gun in New York unless you're actually a resident there. So you have to have dual residency in multiple states in order to own a gun in that state and then also own in New York. And so they make it virtually impossible. So people can't really defend themselves in New York. And the only people that have guns are the criminals that are getting the guns illegally. And of course, and then the Democrats go on and cry and moan about gun safety and gun control. If you had good people that were armed, they would be able to stop these bad people who have weapons they shouldn't have. A 17-year-old shouldn't have a gun. One witness posted a video on X of an emergency responders at the scene, tending to a man lying on the ground after the shooting, per the Times. 3 people have been shot in the heart of Times Square. The caption read, according to the outlet, bodies are on the ground. Bullet holes pierced car windows. The chaos unfolded near a major tourist area. One suspect is in custody. Another video posted on X shows crowds of people running down the streets of Times Square after hearing gunshots. People has reached out to the NYPD for comment. So another, now you can't even go and visit downtown Times Square. Granted, it was 1:20 in the morning, but still, you've got a location that's a big tourist spot. A lot of people are going to come to visit, and they're going to want to see. And not even that area is safe. I understand wandering the city and going into an area where you're not really going to be safe. Here's some of the video from. There's no sound to it, just stupid music. And that's the emergency crews responding after the fact. But, there's some areas of the city you just don't go if you're visiting, or you're on vacation, you're just a tourist checking things out a little bit. And then places like this that are kind of meant for tourists, or catered, strongly to tourists, they're not safe either. And they can't police them and patrol them properly either. I mean, why weren't there more police in that area at 1 a.m. or what is the police presence in that area at 1 a.m. in order to make sure that everything is happening in a calm and orderly fashion? People are following the rules. They're not getting too hammered and, driving drunk, getting into bar fights or whatever. It would make sense that some cops would be around, and I don't know what the case is of the protection there, but obviously it's not enough. All right, moving on to a second story here, because I got to double up on some stuff, and this just makes me sad. Disney is paying $1.6 billion to claim the rights for WWE for wrestling. Disney's ESPN and TKO Group's World Wrestling Entertainment have reached a more than $1.6 billion agreement that will give the sports media company exclusive rights to many of the WWE's most high-profile events. The 5-year deal, which will begin in 2026, includes the U.S. streaming rights to major events, including WrestleMania and SummerSlam. ESPN will pay $325 million a year for the rights, according to people familiar with the matter. This is a significant increase from the WWE's current 5-year deal with Peacock, which was valued at $900 million, according to people familiar with the pact. The new agreement with ESPN follows a 10-year deal the WWE struck with Netflix last year for its weekly show Raw, valued at more than $5 billion. Raw has become a solid performer for the streamer. The events will be available on ESPN's new streaming service, which is slated to debut this fall at a price tag of $29.99. Now, I don't know how this is going to work if you already have the bundle. So, like I have with my phone carrier, it comes with Disney, Hulu, and then ESPN. But because I've already at one set low price, because I'm a customer, but I don't know if there's gonna be an additional charge for me to access this content on ESPN. You know, if you use Hulu and you go on there, there are some things you can watch. It isn't a problem. Then there are other things that are live TV or require the extended subscription in order to have access to that stuff. And I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop and find out that if you want to be able to watch, because you can call me gay and stupid if you want, but I enjoy watching wrestling. It's a soap opera for guys, and I enjoy watching it, and it's just going to turn into such a shit show. It's you've got Raw on Netflix, you got SmackDown still on Peacock, and NXT went wherever the fuck that went. And then you're going to have all the pay-per-views and other events going on ESPN. So, I mean, you're going to go to 3 different fucking carriers in order to watch one brand. I mean, imagine watching your favorite television series, but it's split between 3 different carriers. I mean, it's crazy. You just throw your hands up and give up. But I felt like it made a ton of sense for ESPN, said Jimmy Pitaro, ESPN's chairman. It's a significant content acquisition that we believe is going to really bolster our direct-to-consumer launch and drive our streaming future. For Peacock, WWE content was instrumental in helping the service establish itself and reduce churn. Since that deal, Peacock has added more sports, and this fall will start streaming National Basketball Association games, which it hopes can further boost its reach. ESPN and TKO are already partners in UFC fighting. ESPN carries and streams UFC fights as part of a deal valued at $300 million annually. The pact expires at the end of this year, and the price tag is expected to sharply increase. ESPN has been on a deal-making spree ahead of the launch of its direct-to-consumer service this fall. Disney on Tuesday unveiled a wide-reaching deal with the National Football League, under which the league will take 10% stake in ESPN in return for control of key media assets, including NFL Network. So these guys, and Disney in particular, I mean, they're just making monopolies. You know, first we went from the cable monopolies and Turner Broadcasting and these other large companies controlling a lot of the TV that you watch to these streaming platforms just... They start up, maybe they do well, maybe they collapse and fail, and they're all congealing now to come under the umbrella of just one. And it's going to be Disney. It's like, if anyone remembers the movie Demolition Man, when they're talking about why is every restaurant now a Taco Bell? Because they won the franchise wars and every restaurant ran out of business and all it was Taco Bell. Soon the only thing there's going to be is Disney. The streaming service is going to be Disney. They're going to handle every fucking thing you can ever watch. And there's going to be nothing but, do you want Disney or do you want Disney? I pick which Disney you want. And it fucking sucks. For the WWE fans out there, this is what we're dealing with. And it makes me sad. All right, more updates coming up.